So this is a uncastably useless garbage feature.
I can't think of wow, it's even limited.
Yeah, you can't even do this at will. You don't just like have this sense. I think you are about as good at doing this as an average person, is what I think this is.
It's limited, and you have to actually actively do it.
Yeah.
No,
It lasts a
when
turn.
this is this is the fine traps of features. Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're we're
Digging our
doing
own grave.
another cleric subclass. You threw me off with the last one. Now my spontaneity is gone. We're doing grave cleric.
All right, yeah, sure. This is a cute little option. I have never been impressed by it. I feel like I've read this thing a lot and been like, when is this good? And the answer is I just don't think it is. I think a lot of people love the thematics of it, and I think your floor is really high. But at the end of the day, I think this is one of the weaker cleric options that I don't see a lot of reason to play.
Well, if you like the thematics of it, like, how is it that different from death?
So the difference is death is like you're trying to kill people, you're an evil
Mm,
worshiper of murder. This is you are a keeper of status. So you say, a natural transition between life, death, and the balance of those two things is sort of the point of grave, right? The exact
okay.
first line of the flavor here is gods of the grave watch over the line between life and death, right? That's the idea. Where death domain is I'd kill you with a giant murder stick because my god thinks it's funny.
Okay. That,
Distinct
that's a
difference
good
there, right?
summary. Yeah. Different flavors.
Yes, for sure. I think Egyptian would be like Anubis, I think is where this kind of goes, right? So we always start with the main spells. You always get these for free. They're always auto prepared for you. First level, you get Bane and False Life. Yeah, okay. Bane's
I think I like
great.
Bane a little bit more than you do,
It's whatever.
especially if you get it free.
Yeah, sure. You'll use it in a counter or two. False Life I'd rate quite lowly, like very low, not great.
Yeah.
In the upper tiers, you need like 8 extra hit points. You could spend a first level slot on it, I guess. Third level, you get Gentle Repose. Not
Which is
ideal.
nothing.
Very on theme, not very good. You do get Raven Enfeeblement though, and I think that one is really interesting just because it scales in an interesting fashion with the game. Because you have things damaged, so the more damage they do, the better the halving is. So like, and then that scales with the resistances and stuff. I don't
Hmm.
love it at third level though. I love it at like 13th level. Whenever you break concentration against a giant thing that has clubbed you for 40,
Well,
that's
you'll
where I
still
like
have it at
that
13th
narrow.
level.
Yeah, sure, you'll still be prepared for you then. Our fifth level options, Revivify. That's a great one to have auto prepared.
Sure.
Um, Let me give you Vampiric Touch. Not as
All right.
good.
Got three swings, three misses.
I will say, if an option were to play Vampiric Touch and work, I would guess Cleric is the full caster to do it because they've got the best AC, they've got the best
Mm.
durability, right? They should be the option that cares about taking hits and gaining HP in that kind of loop. I have a hunch it's still just hot trash though. Seventh level, we get Blight and Death Ward. Death Ward is best whenever you do cheesy gimmicky stuff with it, like with short rest resets or with free
Yeah,
casts and stuff like that. I don't love spending spell slots on it when I can, but you will sometimes. And Blight is fine, right? It's just a big
sure.
chunk of damage. Kill some plants.
Great for
Um,
gardening.
Yay! Ninth level. Oh my god, wait, you're the crypt keeper. You're, killing the plants so everything's nice and clean. Perfect. Ninth level is anti-life shell. So this is the barrier that moves with you that breaks if you run over bugs. And it prevents things from reaching through it, but doesn't prevent you from getting shot. So like I have a really hard time seeing it being that useful or practical.
Yeah,
And the other option you get is Raise Dead, which you already got Revivify auto-prepared. So I have a very hard time imagining you need auto-prepared Raise Dead, especially given that you could just prepare Raise Dead at the next long rest. Which means we go like, I don't know why this is even on this list. Like this is more of a class
that's
feature at
true.
this point, right?
I was gonna say, you know, can't always use Revivify, so it's good to have this as a backup. But no, you're right. Uh, Prepare it later.
You got 10 days. You don't
Yeah.
need this long rest to have it. You can have it. Well, take the next long rest. I'll change it out for raise dead, and I'll spend the hour. It's fine. It's honestly like this in particular option. I think is that is egregious. There should be no reason raise dead should be on here, agnostic of flavor. It just doesn't fit the option. Also, it's like if you're transitioning between life and death, bringing things back, I kind of the antithesis of this, but
Yeah.
neither here nor there. Altogether, I think this spell list blows. Like it's got to be the worst we've talked about yet, right? The only one I
Well, of
like is
any
Raven
class?
Enfeeblement. Out of the clerics, for at least, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, probably.
Like Revivify is the best option of the whole list, probably, and that isn't something that's like revolutionary to see, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, this might be the worst.
this might be the worst auto prepared list we've seen in a hot minute, and definitely for clerics. At first level, you get Circle of Mortality. So at first level, you get the ability to manipulate the line between life and death. When you would normally roll one or more dice to restore hit points with a spell to a at 0 hit points, you instead restore the highest number possible for each die. In addition, you learn to spare the dying cantrip, which doesn't count against the number of cleric cantrips you know. For you, it has a range of 30 feet, and you can cast it as a bonus action. That's kind of neat.
All
Notably,
that does is stabilize, right?
yes, that is handy though, because if you're out of spell slots, you'd be like, and then it's fine. You don't have to throw yourself in danger. You can just be like, okay, they're stable. They're not going to bleed out. We can leave and come back. Real use case that I can imagine that has. I believe with the spell casting rules though, if you cast a spell as a bonus action, you cannot cast a spell that is using your action that is of first level or higher. Is I believe what those rules are. I'm double checking as we speak, so I definitely could be misquoting. A spell with a cast of bonus action, you can't cast another spell during the same turn except for a cantrip with a cast number 1 action. So if you spend any bonus action to cast any spell, you cannot cast another first level or higher spell with it as a bonus action. Make
Okay,
sense?
so yes.
So you are still kind of screwed if you use a bonus action to get somebody up. You still can only take like weapon attacks or other actions like dodge, disengage, hide, or whatever. So it isn't
I mean, that's not completely screwed. It's not blowing your action. It's just
true.
your actions are limited.
Yes, more limited than I would like them to be.
Yeah.
It takes away a lot of the what I would hope would be the grass of this, right? Which is I can still keep casting my killing spells or my, supporting spells while also getting allies stable. Now it's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna hit someone with a stick and then make that guy stable. I think in the low tiers it'll play particularly well, but as the higher level you get, the less this matters, right?
I mean, they have other weapon options than stick.
Mace.
Yeah.
I can't go anywhere past that because I can just think of only clerics and maces right now. Scythes of your death domain, like we just talked about. Do you put any value in the first line of text when you would normally roll one or more dice to restore hit points? They get max instead.
I'm happy to have it. If I'm healing wording somebody, then yeah, why not give them a few extra hit points?
So if we compare it to Life Domain's feature, which is you add your Wisdom modifier to hit points restored with spells. Sorry, not Wisdom modifier. It's 2 plus the spell's level to those things rolled, right? I think that feature is a lot better with the cheaper options because it does cheesy things with Goodberry and because like it's just a little bit extra healing. I don't know about better. It's probably about as good with the lower level options, right? Because you're going from because this always maxes it out. Oh man, hold on. I'm getting lower and lower on this the more I think about it.
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling better about it, but
Okay,
all right,
let's
yeah,
say you cast Healing Word. You're a first level cleric. You probably
yeah,
are taking Healing Word, right? The
sure,
difference between the average result on a D4 and a 4 is a 1.5. So this is plus 1.5 healing at first level
okay.
with a Healing Word. That
That's
seems
not
pretty awful, right?
amazing. Yes,
Like just objectively terrible. And it
yeah,
also means any of the instances you would have rolled a 4, it just is ignored, right? Those are just strict losses. There's no upgrades there. At least with Life Domain, you're getting a guaranteed plus 3. And a guaranteed plus
yeah.
3 is worth a lot more than a guaranteed plus 1.5. And we do not rate that feature particularly highly. Life Domain, I agree with, as it's been discussed on this channel, but in other places. I think Cameron talked about it at length in his review of Cleric subclass rankings, right? It's awful. You don't need it if you're not doing Munchkin stuff with good berries. You don't even necessarily want to do it. It's bait for new players. Healing isn't a thing you want to be doing. This is, I feel, right around the same camp.
All right. Now, what if one guy goes down, but a lot of people are injured? I'm going to use this turn to do a mass cure wounds. Everybody's going to get something. The guy that went down is going to get a bunch.
I have to wait till 9th level for my first level feature to start doing a decent thing in a niche scenario.
Yeah, well,
That seems awful, doesn't it?
I don't think that's that niche a scenario. I mean, it's if a guy goes down, chances are a lot of other people are going to be hurt.
How often? It's not like an every encounter thing where someone's going down, though, right?
Well, it could be. Depends on the party, I guess.
Sure. Are you always happy committing 5th level slots to mass cure wounds? Like, is that the plan? Is your plan to
Well,
go in with
if
no
I'm
feature until things
if
shit
I'm
hits
in
the
that
fan?
particular party, then probably.
Imagine if you were like, I don't know, a different cleric option that got a feature that did stuff, like Order Domain. You gave people extra attacks. Tempest Domain, you maxed out a Thunder Wave. Like, you could be preventative by being cooler
Right.
and have a real feature for levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I'm just right now. Without knowing the rest of these features because I haven't prepared properly for this video.
Mm.
I'm playing devil's advocate for the first level feature, and yeah. Let's see where we go from here.
Okay, I think it's so far off to a very, very, very bad start. Eyes of the Grave is our next feature. At first level, you gain the ability to occasionally sense the presence of undead, whose existence is an insult to the natural cycle of life, which again is hypocritical because you bring people back from the dead all the time in your spell list.
Yeah, but that's not actually undead.
Yeah,
Oh,
but you're
but it is against the natural cycle of life. Okay.
hypocritical? Maybe
Yeah,
this is a
kind of. I mean,
commentary.
I can. No, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because bringing them back from the dead, unless they died naturally, I mean, I would argue that stabbing someone is breaking the natural cycle of life.
So you're saying
Bringing
these
them
are
back is a
okay.
correction.
All right. I can appreciate that with that. That not hypocrites after all. As an action, you can open your awareness to magically detect undead. Till the end of your next turn, you know the location of any undead within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover. And isn't protected from divination magic. The sense doesn't tell you anything about the creature's capabilities or identity. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Wiz mod, and you get them back when you finish a long rest.
So, those zombies are undead.
Do you need to tell? Like, I would expect at least this feature would let me know, are the things underground in the graves stirring, right? Like, if this is a
Right.
grave domain, if they're managing a cemetery, if they're, like, dealing in crypts, I would expect them to have a sense for if the bodies are restless. Nope, you have to
That's
see
not
the
what this
body to
does.
know if it's restless. And if you can see the body, you know if it's restless.
I mean, unless I guess if a vampire is trying to pass himself off as a regular guy, that's or if the zombies are very fresh and I don't know.
Even in undead-centered games, that's like a 1 in 3 campaigns kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
So this is like uncastably useless garbage feature.
I can't think of wow, it's even limited.
Yeah, you can't even do this at will. You don't just like have this sense. I think you are about as good at doing this as an average person, is what I think this is.
It's limited and you have to actually actively do it.
Yeah.
No,
It
when?
lasts a turn.
This is the fine traps of features.
It seems really, really abysmal, right? I don't like. I think this is like an eighth of a feature if they let you at least see undead everywhere with TV, like a map, right? Like a heat map. That's where all the undead are. Then it's like a bad version of detect or paladin's like divine sense, right? Then it's a worse. They made it worse than that for some reason. So yeah, we're off to a really, really awful start. At second level, we get our Channel Divinity Path to the Grave. At second level, you can use your Channel Divinity to mark another creature's life force for termination, which this doesn't feel like the natural cycle.
No.
As an action, you choose one creature you can see within 30 feet, cursing it until the end of your next turn. The next time you or an ally of yours hits the cursed creature with an attack, the creature has vulnerability to all of the attack's damage, and the curse ends. I think the only use case this has where it'll feel good is in the cheesy munchkin one-shot kind of stuff, where you go, okay, I have an attack that's rolling plus 16d8 plus 12d6 plus a d4 plus 12. That it's critting, and now this doubles it. That's what this is used for, right?
I mean, doubling any kind of damage is good, right?
Okay.
What's
I want you to imagine a world. It's combat.
okay?
You're fighting a monster. You have a
Yes.
fighter, they're attacking with a great sword for 2d6 plus 3. It's pretty decent, right? Pretty good damage.
Yeah,
You got a
yeah.
ranger shooting a d8 plus 5. Maybe you got sharpshooter, d8 plus 15. That could be pretty sweet. Are you spending your action doubling one of their attack's damage rolls?
Oh, because it's just the next time, so it's not everybody's. That's no, because then you could be doing something
That
that's
would
gonna
damage it.
right. Yeah.
Or paralyze it in the case of spells like Cold Person. And then things crit. And when things crit, they do double damage.
Yeah.
This feature's also kind of booty. But it's not like nearly as bad as the other two, because at least it does something. Sometimes you'll line it up with a cool 1-2 punch with your rogue. It'll be like, path to the grave, get him, buddy, and then you'll sneak attack for plus
Yeah, that's
12d6,
true.
and that'll feel pretty cool.
This has
There's just
use,
it's just
but
narrow.
it's not something you're gonna be doing every time.
Yeah, this reminds me actually a lot of True Strike, right? Where it's why am I not just attacking twice, right? Where this time is why am I not just spending my action doing a damaging effect? Is kind
Yeah,
of
but
the parallel there, right?
there are times when there's an answer to that though,
Yes,
as
there is a
opposed to
real
True Strike.
universe where this is usable, and it's usually alongside like rogues or single high damage
Right.
characters, right? Now, there is the really sad reality where sometimes you'll point at the big bad and say, I'm going to double the rogue's damage, and then the rogue misses, and then the fighter goes, I'm not wasting my turns not hitting this thing, and then you'll feel really, really, really bad. But,
Yeah.
hopefully that doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
At 6th level, you get Sentinel at Death's Door. So at 6th level, you gain the ability to impede Death's progress, which again doesn't seem like what this is supposed to do. As a reaction, when you or an ally that you can see within 30 feet of you suffers a crit, you can turn the attack into a normal hit. Effects triggered by a critical hit are canceled. Okay. You can use this feature a number of times. Your wisdom modifier. You get them all back when you finish a long rest. That's probably enough times for most tables.
Yes, absolutely.
You, as a reaction, have like a defensive thing. No one's taking crits anymore. Okay, sure. Why not? Am I into it? Not really, but it's fine.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's kind of neat, but this I'm not playing Grave Cleric for this.
Yeah, this isn't like splashy. This isn't a proactive measure. This isn't a reason to play Grave Domain. It's just a passive Grave Domain improvement. I don't find this feature riveting. It is unique at least, but like I don't think unique buys it enough whenever it takes till 6th level for it to start. And
Yeah.
some encounters you just can't use it because no one crits. Another encounter is you'll use it once or twice and be like, oh, cool.
He still died because regular damage was enough to kill.
Yeah. Most hits aren't crits, right? Like
Yeah.
that's just how it works. At 8th level, you get potent spell casting. So this is either Divine Strike or potent spell casting. All clerics get. I actually think I would have preferred this option because it gets false life and like defensive boons and vampire touch. I would have much rather it got Divine Strike, but instead you can get bonus damage when you deal damage with cleric cantrips equal to your wisdom modifier. So Toll the
I
Dead is
think
D12
I'd
plus
rather
3.
the other one for any cleric subclass because
Yeah.
as we mentioned last time, when you by the time you're at 8th level, we're not using cantrip damage cantrips.
You at least really hope not to be, right? And I don't really care about a feature that makes the thing that I want to have my fallback be slightly better. I like just more things that I'll let me avoid using my fallback plan. Now, if for some reason you've waited through all of this and gotten to 17th level, what do we get? So we get Keeper of Souls. At 17th level, you can seize a trace of vitality from a parting soul and use it to heal living. When an enemy you can see dies within 30 feet of you, you or one ally of your choice that's within 30 feet of you regains hit points equal to the number of hit dice. You can use this feature only if you aren't incapacitated. Once you use it, you can't again until the start of your next turn. Neat. It's like a reaction that conceivably gives a ton of hit points out, right?
Is it a ton? I mean, you
Regains hit points equal to the enemy's hit dice. So like
right.
let's take a CR, let's look at a CR8 monster. Let me pull up Donjon real quick and let's get some numbers in here so we have some semblance of how much getting. I initially read this as you restore hit dice equal to their hit dice, which is like, oh, you healed a full. No, that's not quite what's happening here. Let's go like CR, let's see, this is a 17 level feature, right?
Yes.
Let's swing for the fences. CR15 monster.
Yeah.
Or any of these in the SRD. Oh, there we go. Mummy Lord. Mummy Lords have 13. Oh, wow. 13d8 hit dice.
Yeah, so you're healing 13 points.
When you killed a thing that had 97 hit points.
Right. I'm not
If you kill a purple worm, you heal 15 hit points.
15.
15.
All right.
I don't know, maybe this is also just awful.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe this is
I
also
mean,
just like,
it's especially awful because you already killed the thing that's threatening you,
yeah, that's doubly
and now
true.
you're healing like a little pittance of hit points, and you have to like ingest its soul. No, thank you.
I'm giving this an F. This option deserves an F, right?
Yeah. I mean, I did my best to defend the first level features, hoping there was going to be something to redeem it. But
And then there just
let,
isn't.
let me let me take another
Okay,
quick
hold
what?
on. Sentinel of Death's Door and Path of the Grave are technically features, right? Those two could go on a character sheet and feel okay, right? Removing
I mean,
crits and a super attack might have some fine enough upside that this gets a D.
I guess I think you're being generous, though. I mean, like, yeah, all right. If we're talking about Fs as like those horrible barbarian subclasses, then
Purple
yeah,
Dragon
this is
Knight,
better than
right?
that.
Like, stone nothing, complete worthless garbage.
Yeah, I mean, you get a crap spell list, but spells, some of them are okay. But yeah, this is a low D.
Yeah, I 100% will agree with it's a low D. Comment below, let us know if you disagree. Maybe this is your favorite spell or cleric subclass of all time. It seems really horrifically bad to me, but
Yeah, I'm not seeing much here.
agreed.
All right, well, that was Grave Domain Cleric. Thank you, Sab, and thank you everyone for joining us. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.